just going to go over what I had written down. So Tanya can take over the rest. So we good to go? We're good to start? Okay, awesome. Okay, guys, so I'm really happy that you guys are tuning in. And if you're tuning in, it's because you are obviously committed to making your business a priority. So my name is Najla. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a Green Elite Status presenter. I signed up with Younique in April of last year, in 2016. And so it's been, it can be challenging, as you know, being a mom. I work full time. I work 40 hours a week. I am also a sister, a daughter, a wife, and all that and whatever. And I also do freelance makeup on the side. So I'm very, very busy. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I make time, when I make time, and how you can work this out. So the first thing that I want to tell you before I even get started is that most of us are moms, so you know that you're not alone. We're all raising kids, some with a partner, some without a partner. It's challenging no matter what, because obviously as moms and as women, a lot is put on us. And so let me just go through kind of what works for me. And if you can relate, then that's great. So the one thing I want to tell you is that you are not alone in what you're doing. There are tons of presenters. And you know what? For a lot of us, that is our why. We want to stay home with our kids. We want to provide more for our families. We want to contribute more. And we are doing this for our future. So I know a lot of women talk about mom guilt. Yes, I get guilty sometimes, but I'm not as guilty on the 8th of the month when I see the extra money that I'm bringing into my home that I'm bringing to my daughter. So to begin, you are not alone, and you have this amazing network of women who can help you through it and help give advice. And so I'm one of those people. I'm going to just go ahead and tell you guys how I make time. So what I do is I set my priorities, okay? So my priorities are my family, my health, and my business, okay? My family is fine. My husband, he has agreed. I told him, I need your help. This is really important to me. This is huge. This is my future, okay? My health, I take care of myself as long as I'm good. Next in line is my business, okay? And not to sound mean or anything, but my friends are not on that priority list. Acquaintances are not on there. Girls' nights are not on there. And the reason why is because right now I am working my butt off for my 3 things: my family, my health, which is myself, and my business, okay? So my business is partially myself. So I put my business / myself. And the reason why is because this is my passion and this is my future. So if you have a why that is strong, if you're part of your why or your family is part of your why, then you have a strong enough why to put your business in your top priorities, okay? We often come up with excuses and reasons why we feel like we can't do it, but if we really reach inside and pull out our will, we can make it. You can make it no matter what. I promise you that. So to me, everything else comes second. I map out my spare time and my to-do list. Okay, so I don't have a lot of spare time, but here's an example, okay? So I tell myself today, let's say on Wednesday, my daytime spare time, whatever spare time I have, when I'm sitting at my desk, I sit beside my boss, okay? So when she leaves for a meeting, like I am just like, I try to do all the things whenever I can. I go to the bathroom if I feel like, okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'd really like to post an interactive post, and then while I'm working, let the interactions happen and stuff. So I map out what I need to do. So example, today, whenever I have spare time, I'll send 10 to 15 messages, copy and paste, very, very easy, copy and paste. Hey, I think your posts are amazing. I think you'd be great at this business. So that's for the part I'll do for sponsoring. Hey, I'd love to earn you some free makeup. Those are the messages I'll send for parties. So I'm focusing on sponsoring, parties, and building relationships and my business. So let's say I'll send 10 to 15 messages, sponsoring and parties combined. I'll post in a mom group, okay? And throughout the day when you're busy, the posts are coming in, and then my next spare moment, comments, okay? I'm commenting on 20 non-Y presenter posts, or I'm commenting to build relationships with those women in those groups who are commenting as well. And I'm trying to book parties. So these are the things that I'll do that would help my business today. I tell myself nighttime spare time. I'm going to reserve 20 minutes before I fall asleep. So I'm in bed already. So 20 minutes before I go to bed, I am going to create posts. Okay. So I take 20 minutes and I create posts for the next 3 days, okay, or the next 4 days, or whenever I really have that spare time. I create posts. I screenshot or create pictures for my interaction posts, and I set up my posts so that I don't have to stress during the week. I can just go pee and quickly while I'm peeing, set and post that thing, okay? And let the magic happen while I'm busy doing my mom stuff, while I'm busy doing my wife stuff, my work stuff, whatever. Because that's the magic about the social media thing, is that everything can happen without you present, okay? So this is not a regular job, and that's why this is amazing, because you don't have to be there watching everything that happens. It can happen, and then once you have your spare time, even if it's just a little, you get in there, you communicate, you build a relationship, and then you back out, continue your responsibilities. But making time is important. The next important thing is making the most of your time. So what are you doing with your time, right? So everything that I do, and I hate sounding, I don't know if this sounds bad to anybody, but everything that I do, if I am on my phone, I am not doing anything that is not income producing, okay? And a lot of times, unfortunately, I'm not even responding to useless text messages from friends, okay, that are like, hey, how's it going? That is secondary. What I need to do first is I need to do whatever is income producing. So for me, example, self-development in the car. Okay, you're driving your kid to daycare, you're driving your kid to school, whatever, wherever you're going to the mall, you can listen to self-development in the car, okay? Involve your kids, explain to them what's going on. This is for mommy's work, this is interesting, listen what they're saying. And I find that when we talk to our kids and we communicate with them, and we tell them, like, this is mommy's job, this is what I do, and you involve them, I find it helps a lot. Like my daughter, she always wants to do a makeup video. So we pretend, when I'm not on lives, we pretend to do makeup videos and stuff. And so she knows how important this is to me. So when I ask her, Mommy just needs 10 minutes. Can you wait here, watch Paw Patrol just for 10 minutes? Mommy's going to go do some stuff, or Mommy's going to sit here on my phone, because I do feel guilty. Okay. Mom guilt exists. When my daughter's sitting down and she looks at me and I'm on my phone, yes, I feel guilty. But I explained to her, this is mommy's work. I'm just going to take 10 minutes. And you know what? On the 8th of the month, she forgets about it because all the Paw Patrol swag comes out. I'm saving money for her big ass doll house that she's going to get for Christmas. So, I mean, I'm doing these things for her. I pay for her dance classes. I pay for bills towards the house, like whatever. I'm doing this for my kid, for myself. So anyways, that's me. But, when your kids are coloring, color with them, map out what you're going to do the next day, write down your to-do list, write down what you think you should be focusing on or ways that you can help your business, okay? So your kid is coloring, they don't know that you're not actually coloring, and you're just mapping out the kind of things that you need to do to move forward with your business, okay? So no two moms or no two women are the same. We're all doing things differently. And so if you need to give your kids clean brushes and have them do their makeup while you pretend to do yours so you can snap a few selfies for your post, then that's what you need to do. So you got to do what you got to do. I do not watch TV. And everything I do is income producing, is what I wrote down here. So I don't watch TV. I don't Netflix and chill. I don't watch any shows. People talk about like Walking Dead and all these shows. I have no idea what's going on. And that's fine with me, because when I'm on my phone or I'm sitting in front of my TV, I'm doing something that's work related. I'm having conversations. I'm posting in mom groups. I'm making new friends. I'm booking parties. I'm posting in parties. And this is important to me because sacrifice is key. Okay, so I realized very quickly at the beginning that if I wasn't willing to sacrifice, then I wasn't gonna grow my business as big and as fast. Okay, so obviously you guys know all of our journeys are different. Maybe it's going to take us hardworking moms a little bit more time to get there, but the fact of the matter is that you need to have the mind state that you want this. You know why you want this, and that you will get there. So even if it takes you double the time as a regular person who can do this full time, you will still get there. As long as you're consistent, as long as you believe that you can, and as long as you're prepared to make the sacrifice for your future. So if this is part of your future, then that's just a sacrifice you need to make. I'm not willing to sacrifice my family, my health, and my business. There's going to be times where you need a break, you need a second, you need a breather. And trust me, guys, I know. I've been practically over the last 6, 7, 8 months, a single mom in between all this because my husband's been traveling a lot. I'm very pregnant. I have back problems. I have health issues. So these are the things that kind of slow me down a little, but not enough to give up, because I didn't come this far and I'm not this invested to just let these things kind of ruin me. If I need a day, I'll keep the posts as consistent as possible. I'll take a day, 2 days, 3 days, but then I am back in it, okay? Because my why is strong. My why is big. I have big dreams, big goals for my family, for me, for my future, and for my team, okay? So a lot of my time goes into my business, and I need to put time into my team too, because I want these girls to be as successful as possible too. Everything else can be negotiated. I'm doing this for myself. Nothing is as important, and that's true. So mom guilt goes away on the 8th of the month when I spoil my daughter. I pay for this, that. Let your kids know what your business means to you and what it does for you and them, okay? So if you have kids that understand that. Husband. So I've had an instance where I went through this little phase where my husband was like, you're on your phone so much, okay? I know you guys have probably all heard that, especially in the beginning, okay? So what was really important to me was I needed to have a conversation with my husband. So you need to be open and you need to be honest. My husband knows what this means to me. My husband knows what this is for me, and I understand that sometimes it's going to be a little bit difficult to accept that, but I had to ask for compromise at times and ask for some support, and some women don't have support. So I am very lucky I have a little bit of support, but at the same time I still have responsibilities. So it's really up to you to take this into your own hands and figure out for yourself, when can I do my business, when can I run my business, and when can I fit this in without it having too much of an impact that you get overwhelmed. You don't want to get overwhelmed. But you can, honestly, just being honest is really important. 8th of the month, I always talk about the 8th of the month, okay? Because when my husband's like, you're on your phone too much, I'm like, you know what? It's not going to matter on the 8th of the month, okay? Nothing really matters on the 8th of the month when you get those, and that's for the 8th of the month. For the girls who are brand new, 8th of the month is when you start building your team. That's when you get paid, like your pink bonus, your blue bonus, your elite bonus. That's the extra money. So I'm grateful for every 3 hours after a sale is made. But on the 8th of the month, when I see that extra money that goes into our joint account, or to bills, or to pay Brielle's dance classes, or buy her whatever, that's when I see what I've worked for. So I remember every 8th of the month, no matter what, that this is why I'm doing this, and this is why it's so important to me. So include your family in your business. You'll feel better, and so will they. Funny lives with your husbands. These get so many views, get so many laughs. Do those, okay? And I know like a lot of guys are shy, they don't really care. Have him do a detox mask, have him exfoliate, take a selfie, make it fun for them. They and you are the reason why you're doing this, so why not include them, especially your kids. Kids love this stuff, okay? So do that. Okay, and then finally, the way that I personally do it is I limit any activities that do not produce income, or that are not important to my business, or that do not benefit my business, okay? All my spare time is dedicated. I don't use Facebook for anything that will not benefit me. I don't scroll and watch useless videos. I don't do any of that. I actually hate that. Like a lot of times I'm looking at Facebook and I'm like, okay, waste of time. Like I need to see, I like finding good interaction posts. I like finding funny videos that people will share, that people will like, that people will comment on. And aside from that, I'm making my own stuff to put on Facebook, because I don't just sit there and scroll. I'm on my phone when I'm peeing. That's spare time. I'm on my phone on break at work. That's my spare time. While I'm having lunch, I'm like literally like, like doing all sorts of stuff, trying to continue keeping things rolling. I post while I pee. It's too much information, but it's true. At work, at home, wherever. Sunday nights, I prepare posts. I take 30 minutes before bed and I prepare one good makeup post, for each day of my work week, so Monday to Friday, and I prepare one good interaction post. It could just be a screenshot. When I say prepare, it doesn't take long at all. So in my 30 minutes, I can make a 5 makeup posts for the week, and 5 good interaction posts for the week. So those are out of the way and done. So I know that at least every day I have 2 good posts. One's interaction post, which is good because it generates comments, likes, conversations, and then the other one's a makeup post. I want to show off my makeup, a selfie. I want to talk about a product that day. So whatever it is that I'm highlighting in that selfie, or whatever stands out in that selfie, is what I'll kind of highlight on that day. And in that time, I have time to do a to-do list for each day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, what I'm going to do. The one thing that I can say is that oftentimes I go back to the back Mission to Black groups, or if you guys were in the Get to Green groups, and when I'm at a loss for what I should be posting or how to make use of my time, I go back and I check the tasks that were in there, the challenges that were in there, and they give me ideas on what I can post and what I can prepare for the next day or the day after. So whether you're making 20 minutes a night every few nights, or 30 minutes on a Sunday night, or 10 minutes before bed every night, that's kind of where I fit in my stuff. I'm not sure how long we have gone. Sarah, did that sound okay? Did I go too fast? Are we okay? Yeah.
Sorry, I'll unmute myself before I start talking. I think we're fine. It just gives you like the old 10-minute warning. We started pretty much on time. There's still about 20 minutes. So if you're done your notes, I'll get Tanya to jump in, and then that way maybe there's time for questions.
Okay.
If Tanya's ready, I don't know. I'm going to mute Najla now. All the power. I'm also going to post the Get to Green group right now as well, so that people can add back in there. All right. You are unmuted.
Okay.
Tanya, floor is yours.
So now we all know Najla's peeing schedule based on when she's posting on Facebook. Awesome. Okay. That's awesome. I love that. I do that too. Don't worry. My phone is always in the bathroom with me. Okay. So those were awesome tips. I do a lot of similar things, but I think you'll see after I'm done that there's no right way to do this, and everyone approaches this business differently, including us moms, because we all have really different situations, family situations, and yeah, hopefully this is okay. I'm standing in my kitchen because I'm plugged into the wall because I did not have time to charge. So, okay, I've just jotted down a few notes so that I don't forget what I wanted to share. So I'm a little less organized than Najla. Najla's very organized. I know we chat together pretty much every day, and I admire that quality. I'm not an organized person. I very often fly by the seat of my pants, but I do sort of have a general way that I approach things. So before I leave for work in the morning, or at the very latest by the time I get to my office at 8 o'clock, I've already gotten 2 kids to daycare by 7:30 in my office. I work at Queen's University in Kingston, full-time, Monday to Friday, and I've been there for 11 years. And so I work 8 to 4, so it's an early day. But by the time I get to my desk, I try and do one post in my VIP group and one post on my personal wall. And usually my post on my personal wall is just something, like a inspirational post, or it might be an engagement post, but something sort of, light, maybe engaging, something inspirational to get people a good start to their day, something nice to read. Oftentimes I bring my makeup to work with me because I'm not a morning person. My mornings are so rushed. My husband works about 70 to 80 hours a week managing a restaurant. And so I literally do most of this parenting thing, maintaining a house on my own. So it's been a challenge, but some of the strategies that I use hopefully can provide some value to you. Like I said, I often don't do my makeup before I leave for work in the morning. So what I'll do, thank you. So what I'll do is I'll bring it to work with me, and I'll use my 15-minute break. I'll use my 15-minute break to do my makeup. And then I sneak off into the washroom and I take pictures because I have amazing lighting in my washroom at my office at work. And that's what I do. I take several shots and I bank these photos. I keep them in my phone, and I will oftentimes go back to them. If I get good shots, like if my makeup's looking good, I take several different shots, mascara, lipstick, whatever, and I find different ways to use those in future posts. So if you're having a good mom day, a good hair day, a good makeup day, and that's not every day for me at all. Like, look at me now. Like, I just went to the gym. My hair's back. I'm very often looking like this. I take advantage of that. And I know a lot of other moms do that as well. It's not uncommon for me to book an afternoon off work, record a couple of videos, or just use that time as an opportunity to put some extra work into my business. Another thing I've done, I've hired a housekeeper to clean my house every other week. It's a little bit of a splurge for me still, but my husband and I just agreed that, like, this, with our situation now, is the only way that we're going to free up some time to take some things off my plate and to free up time to enjoy my kids and also put into the business. My kids are very often involved, with unpacking my orders, putting, business cards in my bags as I'm packing them. It's not uncommon for me to take them with me as I'm making deliveries on the weekends or in the evenings, and they love it. Like, they know my one client that lives near me, Amanda. They know her house now. Like, they're like, she buys a lot of makeup from you. Like, it's kind of a joke with them, and so they like it. And sometimes I'll even, if it's someone that we know well, I'll even get them to just bring it to the door. So just some fun ways to get them involved. I really rely heavily on my extended family, and I encourage you to, if you have extended family close to you, like, not to underestimate or not to be the hero. Like, we're always wanting to be the hero and take everything on ourselves, and it's really, you can really run yourself ragged, and I can sometimes get to that point where I'm burnt out, and it's like, okay, I need to scale back, I need to ask for help. So my sister, my sister-in-law, my parents live around the corner. My mom comes over most evenings, watches them. I go to the gym, get a really quick workout in, make a couple deliveries, and by the time I come home, I just have to put them to bed. So extended family can really be a big help, and don't be scared to ask for that help, I guess is what I'm saying. Like Najla said, the guilt is very, very, very real. I went through it. I still go through it. Like, when my kids look at me and I'm on my phone, like, I feel so guilty, but I don't watch TV. Like, we have 2 TVs. It's never on, ever. I don't watch Netflix, and it's not to say that, it's wrong to do those things, but I think when you're pushing to really build your business as quickly as possible, some things have to be sacrificed, and for me, it's TV. Like, it's just not a thing for me. I'm making tea. Sorry, guys. I have a 3-year-old with me right now. That's usually my reality. So expectations is another thing. I used to, okay, the kids have to be in bed, and before I get anything started with my business so like tonight, for example, I just, like, she wasn't going to bed. She's not my sleeper. So, okay, let's go downstairs. We're going to go on this call together, and you can play with a couple toys. And it's just going with the flow, I think, and lowering your expectations that things are not always going to be perfect. I just got back from Punta Cana yesterday. I've got delivery boxes all over my dining room table. I probably could mop the floors. Like, I had to kind of lower that a little bit, just give myself a little bit of a break. And I think sometimes we just try to be too perfect. And I'm a perfectionist by nature. So we have to, I think, just learn to let go sometimes. It's hard. I use CinchShare, which there's kind of mixed reviews about it right now. For right now, it hasn't gotten me into Facebook jail, but I know, just tread lightly. But there are other options for scheduling your posts on Facebook. I use that to my advantage. I post in all of my past parties, usually about once a week. And I treat each past party like its own little VIP group almost. Not quite as regularly, like not every day, but about once a week or so, I do post in it. And I use CinchShare to do that. So on my lunch break or my 15-minute break, I will schedule a post. So that's also a big time saver. My lunch breaks I often use to make deliveries to people who sort of live or work in the vicinity of where I work downtown. And that frees up some of my time in the evening so that I'm not always running around with my kids making deliveries. I've also used my husband to make deliveries for me during the day before he goes to work. So again, it's kind of like just all hands on deck. And really, I have to focus back to why I'm doing this. Initially, I did it because I was about to end my second mat leave. I literally joined on our first birthday. We were about to have 2 kids in daycare almost full time, and it was literally like a second mortgage. It was $1,100 a month, which is cheap for daycare, but it's a lot of money. And my goal was, listen, I just need to free up some money just for this, brief few years so that we can kind of get over this hump. And I never imagined that I would be making, like, I'm inching closer and closer to a full-time professional income that I make. It's just beyond my wildest dreams, but that is the reality of where this business can take you. So my why now has changed a little bit because we are bringing in a substantial income that the 8th of every month is an amazing day, for us. And I have both kids in dance, or gymnastics, whatever they want to do. My older daughter's actually in competitive dance, which if you're not familiar with the dance world, it's expensive, very time consuming, but very pricey. And I will say it plain and simple, there's absolutely no way that we could do it if I didn't have this business. And if you see how much has changed my daughter and changed her from this shy, really, really shy, withdrawn little girl to this really outgoing 6-year-old, there's nothing that compares to that feeling, to seeing her on stage and loving what she's doing. And so for me, it's like, okay, when things get really tough, and they do get tough, I just go back to that picture in my mind of how I want my kids to feel about themselves. That's really what it comes down to, whether it's through dance, whether it's through, we're going on a family holiday in December for 3 weeks. Whether it's, I was able to buy a plane ticket to go on an incentive trip to Punta Cana. I just got back, and those are experiences. It's not the things, right? It's the experiences and how they make us feel. So I encourage you to kind of really dig deep and figure out what the why is, like beyond what you're able to buy, but the experience that it provides for your family. That's not to get too deep. I'm really not a serious person, but I think that's what keeps you going when things get really tough, because they do. As a parent, I want to leave room for questions, but let me just see. After the kids go to bed, I go into power mode. So like if they go to bed, like this one, by 9:30, I usually have the youngest one in bed as well. And it's power time for me. So I get laundry going, get lunches going, I get my messages going, okay, for deliveries or whose orders I have to leave out tomorrow to pick up. I posted my parties at that time. I usually do my recruiting posting. And what that does, for the next morning, it sets up messages for me to get back to on my breaks at work. So it's kind of a little flow. I know I said I'm kind of disorganized, but those are kind of the general things that I do throughout the day, depending on what's going on. But I try and just do something for my business whenever I have the time. And because that amount of time changes, my tasks will change, but there has to be just something that I'm doing. Like Najla said, some days we don't feel good, right? Or we're tired, but just do something. Like even if it's just a little thing, just posting your VIP group, just something to say that you can feel good at the end of the day that you've put the effort in. Share. Social life, I don't have much of one. That's mainly because of the kids, but I don't, and I'm okay with that. I don't resent that. That's just a reality, and it's okay. But it's actually kind of convenient when you have small children because you don't have much of a social life. So it kind of does make it, sorry guys, it does kind of make it easier because you are at home so much. Okay, my assistant wants to get in here. That's hot. The last thing, I used to, I often get back to people, like when I'm waiting for my kids to at dance class, I use that time to like send messages to people. Like I'm never like just sitting there doing nothing. I can't, I'm an antsy person, but I often use that time. Even if it's half an hour class, I'll sit there and get back to people. I'm just always doing something. So those little pockets of time are gold for you. Okay, that's all I have. I know I speak really, really fast, but yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say.
Perfect. That was
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that was awesome. You guys gave all like really helpful tips that I think a lot of girls can benefit from. So if there are any questions, I have muted all of you. So, but you can just click the little button. I don't know if you're on your phone, I think it's just at the bottom, like on the computer, it's just at the bottom. So if you guys have any questions at all about what Tanya or Najla said, they're here. We're all here. I mean, I'm not a mom, so I guess I could have introduced that at the beginning where this kind of started. We started talking about this a while ago, how, you know, there was a big thread in our Black Status group talking about, actually it was Brittany Kaplan who posted that a lot of girls come at her like, well, you're not a mom, so you wouldn't understand what it means to like work as hard as we do. And I was like, I just kind of like right away triggered something. I'm like, man, I've got girls on my team that are like moms that are working full time and that are killing it in their business. So I was like, that's a good topic because I feel like I can't, sometimes it'll be hard for people to relate. And sometimes they'll want to use that as an excuse. And for me, I mean, I always go right to Melissa Carlisle, who has 6 kids. And I'm like, well, you know what? There's people that have kids and make this work because it's all about balancing it out. I mean, I always make the joke, I have 200 kids because I have 200 kids some days that come through my classroom, you know? Like, I still make those commitments. Like, I went to a basketball game today after school because those kids wanted me to come watch them play. Like, I still live and make commitments and, you know, working full time with kids all day long. You know, I can't really be doing stuff at school, but every single little pocket of time that I can get myself I'm on a computer sometimes, but my lunchtime is spent with me, myself, and I and children in my room working because I work every lunch. My preps, sometimes I have time to do that. In the morning, I get there early. I do that. The first thing I do before I go home after work is I work my business. Like it's always nonstop. And I really liked how Tanya brought up the point that like, any pocket of time that I have, I don't just sit. There's no just sitting. If I'm just sitting, it's probably because I'm doing makeup. And then I also have a self-motivation, something playing always. Every day I listen to something. And I think that is so very important. If you are not doing self-development in this business, mom, not mom, whatever, you're not helping yourself because you're not learning. This business is about learning every single day. And for the most part, I post almost every single day something in our group because it's what I've watched that morning. I'm like, this is awesome. And sometimes I don't find anything that's awesome. So I know that throughout the day being in so many training groups, I'll find something that I think is going to be beneficial. Do you have to watch everything? Absolutely not. Pick something that interests you. Pick the people that you like. And just listen to their like topics and whatever you're struggling with. If you're struggling with sponsoring, watch sponsoring videos. If you're struggling with parties, watch party related videos. Type that into YouTube. You'll get thousands of YouTube videos that you can watch and learn. Type that into the searches in Boss Beauties or whatever upline group you're in. There's so much information that like, that's never an excuse because there's always something that you can be watching. So, I'm opening it up to any questions. There is about 3 minutes. I know everyone's always shy at the end of these. I don't think we've ever. Oh, Christina.
Yeah.
Hi. Before it cuts us off.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering how you actually schedule the posts on Facebook. I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay, I did a video. I will send it to you after. Actually, here. I mean, if there's no other questions, I can easily do this here. Screen share. I've got a party going here right now. Sorry. So much stuff going on here. Okay, I'm literally in the midst of setting up my next lash event. So I'll show you. So if I'm going here, there's one that I did, but if I'm going to schedule a post, like let's pretend I'm writing something, I'm on a computer, FYI. Schedule a post is right here. So I have to still set this all up. So tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m., that's when my post will go up. If I hit schedule, it will post whatever would be in there.
Okay. All right.
I have a whole YouTube video on how to set up like the Lash events. These are important. This is where, this is where you meet people. I've booked all the people for this event. I've got 2 so far, and I'm working on 1 more. I think she's coming in hot here. So I have, I'm always trying to find new people, and I find them from old parties.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to add one thing that Tanya made a good point about, is that oftentimes I feel like we feel bad for ourselves, like, oh, I don't have a social life, I don't have any friends. This is your social life. You are connected to more friends than anybody even wants in their life. Like,
I don't have a social life, and I don't even have kids. So.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I'm lacking in that department, because I really feel like each and every group chat I have and all the interaction on Facebook, I just feel like I'm like, I have so many friends. It's unreal,
And we're doing dinner on Friday, so we have a social life with each other.
Go to those dinners, because these girls are the bestest friends you're ever going to have. I don't know any other friends that will help you build a business, that encourage and support the way we do. So take advantage of that.
Yeah, fun.
I have to tell you guys, like, I just got back from Punta Cana, and
1 minute.
like, sorry, like,
No.
I think it overwhelmed me when I was there, because it was like, I can't believe that, like, this is my life. Like, I just got an all inclusive trip to Punta Cana, and it's like, that's not the, end goal. Like, things aren't the end goal, but like, I'm sitting there and I just got really overwhelmed by how many different women were there. Like, beautiful women, not as beautiful women. Like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes we have a stereotype in our head of like what these successful women are like, and they're just everyday people like us. And it just gets really overwhelming that, like, it's changing our lives, right? Like, we are having experiences and income, and it's so worth it in the end. That's all I wanted to say.
Cancun next year.
All right.
I'm going to Cancun for sure. Like, missing Punta Cana
Yes.
me on the
It's
inside.
amazing. Honestly, amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Good night.
Goodbye. Yes, I've recorded this, so don't worry, your girls.
Awesome.
Okay. Awesome.
Have a good night,
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.